Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're tearing apart a truly fascinating piece of text. We've all used AI chatbots, right? Maybe to write a quick email, summarize an article, or help debug some code. But what happens when you push an AI to its absolute limits? What does it look like when someone tries to generate an entire, premium, highly technical educational course using just a single command? Well, let's dive into this incredibly ambitious AI prompt. It's designed to generate a complete educational script on the OWASP Top 10, which, for those who might need a quick refresher, is essentially the global gold standard for web application security risks. We're going to look at the exact text of this mega prompt to see exactly how it's engineered to squeeze every last ounce of capability out of the AI. Right off the bat, the prompt doesn't just ask the AI for a favor. No, it commands an identity. The very first line reads, "You are a senior cybersecurity engineer, ethical hacker, SOC analyst." This immediately showcases the sheer scale of the persona the user is trying to invoke, right from the very first line of text. In prompt engineering, we call this role prompting, but this user, they've taken it to an absolute extreme. They aren't just asking for a teacher, they're literally demanding a cybersecurity superhero. To make sense of this massive wall of text, we're going to deconstruct the prompt into 4 thematic buckets. 1. The God mode AI persona. 2. The core educational framework. 3. Real-world career integration. And 4. Testing and final deliverables.
Kicking things off with Section 1, the God mode AI persona.
What's really wild is that the user demands the AI simultaneously hold 8 distinct, highly specialized job titles. Think about it. A SOC analyst, someone who monitors security operations, has a vastly different day-to-day workflow than a cloud security architect, or say a malware analyst who reverse engineers viruses in a sandbox. The user is forcing the AI's neural network to pull from all these incredibly diverse, specialized training data weights simultaneously. It's basically asking the AI to speak with the combined authority of an entire IT security department, rounded out with the communication skills of a master instructor.
And it doesn't even stop with the titles. Not only do they want those 8 specific roles, but they also explicitly demand over 20 years of combined experience from this generated persona. So why does this matter? Well, in language models, asking for a beginner's explanation versus a 20-year veteran's explanation fundamentally changes the vocabulary, the tone, and the depth of the output. By setting this anchor at 20 years, the user is telling the AI to bypass all those surface-level definitions and get straight to delivering battle-tested, authoritative insights.
Moving right along to Section 2, the core educational framework.
The source text for this prompt contains a staggering 27 specific bullet points of what the lesson absolutely must include. If we group some of those massive demands, we start to see a really clear educational framework split into theory, practical application, and broader industry context. The user isn't just saying, "Hey, tell me about the OWASP Top 10. No, they're demanding complete theory, backed by visual explanations. Then they pivot into application, requiring the AI to write out practical demonstrations, text-formatted diagrams, and even full instructions for a live lab. Finally, they want industry context, things like best practices and common mistakes. This essentially forces the AI to act as a comprehensive, end-to-end curriculum designer.
This step-by-step pedagogical sequence forces the AI to move from a professional introduction right into complete theory, then a practical demonstration, and finally a live lab. Just think about how incredibly difficult this is to write. The AI has to seamlessly transition the script from a friendly, professional greeting directly into the heavy academic theory of web vulnerabilities, and then logically bridge that theory into a hands-on, practical demonstration that a viewer could theoretically just follow along with on their own computer. It's a massive shift in pacing and tone.
But the prompt gets even more demanding. Notice the tightrope the AI has to walk. Generating content detailed enough for professionals, yet explained in simple enough English for absolute beginners. The exact phrasing in the source is, "Explain everything in very simple English so beginners can understand," but right above it, it says the script is for beginners and professionals. Talk about an extreme cognitive load for an AI. It has to somehow avoid alienating a 20-year veteran while making sure someone who just learned what an IP address is doesn't get completely lost. It's honestly a masterclass in challenging an AI's tone modulation.
All right, let's look at Section 3, real-world career integration.
As if that wasn't enough, the prompt demands a literal alphabet soup of top-tier certification knowledge, highlighting the incredible depth of industry expertise required to pull this off. The user asks the AI to integrate knowledge for the CEH, Security Plus, PNPT, OSCP, and CISSP.
To put that into perspective, Security Plus is generally considered an entry-level cert. But the OSCP? That requires you to hack into multiple machines in a grueling 24-hour exam, and the CISSP is a management-level certification that often requires 5 years of paid experience just to hold. The AI is being asked to weave the relevance of the OWASP Top 10 through all of these vastly different professional milestones.
Beyond just certificates, the user expects this single output to provide a holistic career guide. I mean, we're talking about exact salary information, what it's like to leverage these skills as a freelancer, actual client project examples, and even the latest cyber attacks. This perfectly highlights the modern expectation of educational content today. The user doesn't just want a textbook, they want a mentor. They want the AI to outline a complete career roadmap and prep them for job interviews, completely contextualized around the core topic of web security.
Finally, we arrive at Section 4, Testing and Final Deliverables.
First, keep in mind that all of this, from the theory to the career advice to the live labs to the interview prep, is supposed to fit perfectly into a 30 to 60-minute script. A standard spoken script runs about 150 words per minute. So, doing the math, that means the AI has roughly 4,500 to 9,000 words to comprehensively cover 27 massive bullet points. The prompt is demanding absolute conciseness, zero fluff. Every single sentence generated by the AI would need to serve a distinct educational purpose to actually hit this time constraint. To wrap the whole thing up, the prompt demands an exhausting list of assessment deliverables, including references, homework, a 20-question quiz, and 2 separate building projects, a mini project and a full project. The AI is being instructed to not just present the information and say goodbye, but to actually generate the homework that tests the learner's comprehension. It has to invent 20 distinct, perfectly accurate quiz questions about the OWASP Top 10 and then design logical projects that a student could build to prove they've mastered the concepts taught in the previous 45 minutes.
So, this leaves us with a final, provocative thought about the current limits and the true capabilities of using AI to generate comprehensive educational content. Can a single AI prompt successfully compress 20 years of experience, 8 job titles, complex cyber theory, career counseling, and rigorous testing into a 30-minute simple English script? It's a staggering ask, but the very fact that users are engineering prompts with this level of architectural precision shows just how powerful we expect these tools to be. I highly encourage you to think about how you structure your own requests. Maybe you don't need 27 bullet points, but adopting a little bit of this mega prompt structure might just unlock a whole new level of learning for you. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you on the next one.